physically, mentally, emotionally, we are sane. You have the same sort of potential or seed of negative emotion, such as anger, hatred, fear. These I also have same. Then also the seed of potential develop affection, compassion. With that, sort of willpower, forgiveness, and tolerance. These also, you have these things. I also have these things. So, we are same. So I always make clear the sameness of these things. Because if you consider me as something different, or stranger, or something special, then my talk, trying to share my own experience, may not feel is relevant if you consider speaking something distant. I myself also, if you consider you, American, you are in Israel, because aside of it, New Orleans people, quite hot place. I come from roof of the world, very cold. So if I look at you, something very different. Then I think silly thing if I consider myself as His Holiness Dalai Lama. That kind of thinking, distance from you. What use? No. And on the basis of these things, sometimes we too much emphasis on formality. I don't like formality. Look, the way we born, the way we die, no formality. Isn't it? In your life, most important events are birth. So you always sort of carry happy birthday. So that means something very important sort of event in our life. Then, at the end, death. I think you may not sort of carry some kind of sort of today, because of a special prayer or something like that. But we usually, you see, the
for example, for the Buddha's final nirvana, his death, is recognized as to be an important day.
And many great masters, we always sort of carry some sort of a celebration or remember commemoration that person, the day of death. We don't know, you see, these people who sort of, because of death day, we always remember, we don't know what's a birthday. So we consider the death day is more serious rather than birthday. So you people consider birthday is more important than the death day. But in any way, these two important events, no formality, just compare. So I myself, since about, I think, 4 years old, since I reached Lhasa, my life is a grown-up, very much ceremonial sort of atmosphere. I fed him. Really, no use. So since I came out, and also some of our Chinese friends, officials, they also love a little bit sort of formal. And as well, Japanese also is very formal. So that's why one of your former president, Mr. Bush, Junior, I love him because, since my first meeting, he showed completely informal me. You see, as a usual practice, when we met, after said, some sort of drink and also what's the cookie. Then I expressed, which cookie is better? Then he immediately said, this is better. You see, like another human person. Sometimes some leaders, when we met, a little bit sort of formal, little distance. And the second time, third time, then closer. I don't like that kind of thing. Straightforward. But after all, they're also human beings. I also human being. I know their sort of emotions. I know. So, no use is to hide these things. So therefore, please consider me just one human being. I also consider you another human being. Yes? Different races, different sort of culture, different language, different faith, but we are fundamentally same human being. In fact, 7 billion human beings, same human being. Now this I really feel awareness or conviction, sameness of entire 7 billion human beings. It's very essential because not only in the past history, but even today, some man-made problem, killing, bullying, cheating, these mainly, you see, was due to secondary level of differences. Secondary level, as I mentioned earlier, faith, race, color, and rich and poor, this nation or that nation, like nationality, these actually adding our concept of we and they. The strong concept of we and they is the basis of violence, basis of war. If we really feel others who have different interests causing conflict, still believe that human brothers, these are human brothers, sisters, they also have every right to achieve their goal, their happiness. I should not create obstacle for their sort of desire for their aim. Then, no basis of violence. So, now, they say the importance of clear awareness, oneness of humanity, according to new reality. Now, that is very relevant. Ecological problem, like global warming. They become thinner about ozone layer. Now, these things. Now, the problem for entire 7 billion human beings. Then also, the global economy also is beyond national boundary or religious boundaries. And I think mainly human population increasing. When I first came America and Europe, then population around 6 billion. Now after 30, 40 years, now population 7 billion. According to some, quite warm. According to some sort of expert, end of this century, human population will be 10 billions. And then our lifestyle also changing. Lifestyle more sophisticated. So therefore, unless we share each other's problem and think about common interest, I think more and more problem will happen. So full cooperation is very, very essential. And sometime back in Indonesia, the tsunami, that sort of major disaster happened. I think that sort of effect even sort of east coast of India and Sri Lanka and many others. So at that time, I think worldwide response. No consideration, different faith or different race or different sort of culture or different sort of nation, but consider as a human being. So response from the rest of the world immense. So these are really, I think, important spirit. And also locally, now here, the flood took place. I think those people from the area not so affected, even using coming to help. And I noticed in Australia, Brisbane, this area, immense sort of flood, that many Australian different parts come to help. And in Japan, near Tokyo, I can't remember the name of the place, again, the tsunami and also the nuclear accident. On occasion, I had the opportunity to visit. So they are really good spirit. As a same human being, some human being suffer another human being, regardless whether they know each other or not, come to help. So we need that kind of spirit. Now, on entire sort of global level, that I think very important. If we develop firm conviction, oneness of human being, then really possible this century can be century of peace. Century of peace. Peace will not come through prayer, through nice word. Or sometimes the worst thing, I think, I feel worst thing is for peace, world peace, some pigeon kept and then release for world peace. I think at least immense disturbance for those pigeons. No help to bring peace. No. And also is peace through prayer. I think 2-3 years ago, in Japan, Hiroshima, one peace meeting, I think mainly against the nuclear weapon. So that meeting took Hiroshima, where bomb fell. And then some Nobel laureates also there. So they, at the meeting, more formal meeting, I think at the conference, more formal meeting. So the speech made by a different sort of person. And then many express, due to God's bless, through our prayer, peace will prevail. then my turn. I always quite frank. So, at my turn, then I told, peace will not achieve through prayer. Peace only, peace is achieved only through our action, our effort. Action is so important. Then also, another sort of my story. Again, I think 3 years ago, one Indian state where Bodh Gaya located. So the chief minister of the local state government, they constructed one Buddha's temple. So the opening ceremony with the Buddha's temple, the government, state government invited me and also many representatives from many Buddhist countries. So at the function, the chief minister mentioned, due to Buddha's blessing, his poor state rapidly prosper. He mentioned that. Then again my turn. Of course, I know chief minister very well. So I told, if your poor state rapidly prosper due to Buddha's blessing, then your state much earlier prosper. Should be, because Buddha's blessing lasts 2,500 years already there. So, Buddha's blessing need able chief minister's hand. I mentioned again action. So since he took the government responsibility, and now that state much improved. So the real world peace must create by ourselves. Almost I think like our responsibility is to destroy peace, and God look after peace, unfair. So therefore, who create violence? Not God or not Buddha. The real creator of violence is we human being. Other animal, even like tiger, whose life depends on others' life, others' flesh. They are supposed to attack, or they are supposed to violence or action. Very limited. 1,000 years go like that, not much effect. But then we looks very gentle. Our nails also very gentle. Not like a cat or tiger's nail. And our teeth also like those vegetarian animals. Very beautiful. Yeah, but because of this intelligence, we really looks human bubble. I think even this monkey, they have this, what do you call this, long teeth. So you see, they are physical, equipped like that. But we looks very gentle. But that gentle mammal really creates a lot of destructions, a lot of violence. So, logically, these immense violence created by human being, so logically, we have the responsibility to reduce that and eventually eliminate violence. So now this moment in your country, there's a lot of discussion about gun control. Very good, but ultimately, gun control related with heart. Control, hatred, anger, increase forgiveness, tolerance. That's the real way control gun. So that's very important. So now, the population increasing. Natural disaster also may increase. And already we have tremendous sort of gap, rich and poor, poverty. Even within America, this is a nation who use maximum consumption. One time in Washington, I gave some talk, public talk. I mentioned the capital of the richest nation, that most powerful nation, suburbs, Washington, number of poor people. Huge gap. Number of billionaires increasing. Poor people still remain poor. I think within this state also, I think of many poor people. Huge gap. This gap, poor, rich and poor. Once economically poor, poverty, then some kind of frustrations often is developed. That develop anger. That brings violence. So therefore, this gap, that also not only morally wrong, but practically also solves the problem. We have to deal seriously, effectively with this. So that does not mean all rich people should be poor. No. The poorer section of people's living standard must be uplifted. Now global level, southerner, northerner, those industrialized nations, they have surplus. Southerner, even basic necessities, sometimes not adequate. And millions of people nearly facing starvation. Millions of children, malnourished. In India also, you're from India. Huh? Oh, Guruji. I always describe Indian historically our Guru. Buddha come from our Guru. Buddha was Indian. And all the masters of Nalanda, Brahmana Shila, Takshashila, all these sort of through centuries, top scholars, philosophers, in these thinkers, in these institutions, mainly Indian. So sometimes I discover, we are not only Jela, but also reliable Jela. While you see your own area, a lot of ups and downs, we kept intactly all Nalanda, ancient Nalanda sort of thought, knowledge like that. So in any way, this is, as I say, sushi.
I'm going on an aside.
So I really feel, I'm talking just another sort of, my friend. I do not take this as something serious. You see, talking few thousand people. Same every day. When I talk one or two persons and talk few thousand or several thousand, even you say 100,000, no differences. As I mentioned, I firmly believe we are same human being. We are same potential, same desire, same right. So in any way, so like India, a huge gap. And now in China, socialist country, in the early 50s, I think unthinkable, this kind of huge gap. Now it happened. So this very much related with our mental attitude. Consider others as human brothers sisters. We all have same right, equal right. And we must take serious concern about others' well-being. On the level, on the basis of clear awareness, oneness of humanity. So therefore, irrespective whether believe religion or not, so long human being, we need sense of concern of others' well-being. And also, we are social animals, as I mentioned earlier. Cooperation. I think so long we are social animals. The individual's future depends on the rest of the community. If you stand, don't care, rest of your society, member of society, how can you achieve happy life? Because community is ultimate source of your own happiness, your own successful life. So we must take care about the concern about the remaining your community. That, as I mentioned earlier, now further, then whole global level, entire humanity is part of us, part of we. So now time comes, we must create big we. Entire 7 billion beings are part of we, part of me. And the world, planet, our home. You cannot say, my nation, that nation. They, as I say, because of global warming, will not give some because of the exceptions, because of the
global warming is not going to make any discrimination.
So entire people, entire nation face same problem. So therefore, we have to think the global level of because of the happy future. Now here I want to tell you something. Compassionate heart, sense of concern of others' well-being. Some people get the sort of impression that the practice of love and compassion is good for others, but for oneself, not necessarily good. And also, I think sometimes people who have more compassionate attitude, then sometimes people look, that's weak person, right? And easily bullied or cheating. And someone really sort of the aggressive, self-centered attitude, then people, sometimes I think foolish people, more respect. This is totally wrong, totally wrong. Sense of concern of others' well-being. Ultimate source of inner peace, peace of mind. Its system is like this. Sense of concern here, sense of concern of others' well-being. Then the very basis of fear reduce. Very basis of distrust reduce. Through that way, very basis of fear reduce. And you yourself also, you see, concern others as your human brothers and sisters. Sameness of humanity. Always show some kind of expression of these genuine feeling. Then automatically you also feel you're also part of them. They're also part of you. So that tremendously helps to reduce fear. And that way, sense of self-confidence. That brings inner strength. Then you can, so that inner strength, very important for body element becoming more balanced or normal way. Too much fear. And fear brings anger. And anger brings hatred. Now, fears, anger, hatred, constantly sort of experience. Some scientists say, actually, these things eating our immune system. So, these are the medical scientists, and also brain specialists. Nowadays, they say healthy mind is very important element for healthy body. I think that on that level, according to my own experience, you say I have something to say, to share. These days, when I met some sort of my long-time friend, many of them, when we saw, they express, on my face, not much change. So there's some ask me, what's your secret? Then I usually tell them, 9 hours sleep. That is my sort of the secret or sort of source of energy. Yes, each day about 3:30, about 3:30, I usually get up. Then some, I said, while some physical exercise, some recitation, some mantras, or some meditation, some prayer, go like that. And then, of course, sitting cross-legged, and at least 3-4 hours, some meditation. So then, evening, around 6:30, my eyelid become quite thick. so then I go to bed. So about every night, 8 to 9 hours, always sleep, sound sleep. I usually say, half joke, you mentioned that. I think seriously, my mental state quite peaceful. No matter sort of what difficulties. I always make distinction. Some difficulties, some tragedy, of course, intellectual level, know that and must find ways and means to overcome or to reduce that. But that, another level, another deeper level, emotion. There, we have this sort of ability to make a distinction, intellectual level, some sort of agitation, but deeper level, calm. That we can do. So as a result, sometimes I sort of describe like ocean. On the surface, always some wave, sometimes a big wave. But underneath, always remain calm. We can do that. Intellectual level, yes, quite colorful. But deeper level, calm. So, the calm mind is very important for our health. Some scientists at some American university, Wisconsin, and also Emory and Stanford and some others, last few years, they actually carry some sort of experiment. Some sort of people, a group of people, carry, say, 3 weeks, some kind of training their mind. Each day, about half an hour or 1 hour. Before they start that kind of training, examine their blood pressure and the amount of stress, these things. After 3 weeks, again test, blood pressure reduce, stress much reduce. Then they become much happier person. As a result, their relations with their
family and friends.
Friends or families much improved.